Alright guys, so as you guys can see, I got some explaining to do. So I sold the wheels, I sold the equips. I know some of you guys were excited to see the equips on the car, and believe me, I was too, but after rethinking things and looking at my options, I felt like it wasn't worth it. So I regret not buying a set of wheels that I saw before the equips, but I went ahead and went with the equips. And then yeah, so after I had them, I was like, man, I hope that they work, and I was hoping that they would work, but the specs were like 10 millimeters way too more aggressive than what I would have wanted them to be. So if everything would have been like, if I didn't have to run the spacer, it was still actually pushing it. So I've seen people run 10.5 plus 22 without any issues running 275 35s, but at this point I was at like 10.5 plus 11 plus 12, and the clearance on the caliper was very tight. As you guys can see here, like I have all this space right here, and whenever I was test fitting the equips were like almost touching the caliper itself. And to be honest, once I got the 5mm spacer on here with the equips, I didn't even bother moving the car. I didn't even check to see if it would work, just because of how much the wheels poked out. And I will actually put a picture here for you guys so you guys can get an idea. So my only options of it were to try to max out the camber, which was probably going to be putting me at like -2.5, maybe 3 if I was lucky enough. The thing is, it was just going to be too much camber than what I would have wanted to run, and then that's not even knowing if, you know, the wheels were going to fit. So I was like, I'm not going to spend money on getting in alignment when, you know, the wheels, it wasn't a sure thing if they were going to fit. So these tires, the tire size that I ended up getting it, were a little bit beefier than I expected. I've noticed that the Michelins that come with the factory wheels, they stretch a little bit more. I don't know why, like it just doesn't really make sense, because Falcons were always known to be a skinnier tire than a lot of the other tires out there. Yeah, so the only way of me getting them to fit was going to be running a 265 35, or maybe even a 255 without having to run too much camber. Obviously I was going to have some poke, which that's the thing that I wanted to have a little bit of poke, but the 275s didn't really stretch enough like I wanted them to. Like I've seen some that have a little bit more of an angle on the sidewall. These were almost straight, so you guys will see in the pictures. You know, I decided it wasn't worth it. As much as I love the wheels, you know, they've always been my favorite set of wheels, one of my favorite sets, but I was gonna have to be dropping about another $800-900 bucks to get new lips, new barrels. So I was gonna have to downsize from a 4.5 to 3.5 inch lip, and then get a bigger barrel. So me and Nico here decided that it was not gonna be worth to spend another $800-900 bucks on just some lips and barrels. Obviously the labor, it wasn't gonna be any cost because a friend of mine was gonna help me redo it. Then I was looking at having to dismount the tires, and then having the tires mounted again and balanced. And Nico said, you know, we ain't got time for that. So I put them up for sale just to see if they would sell. I was gonna give it a weekend. And I told myself, I was like, if they sell within the weekend, you know, I'll sell them. If I get any interest during the weekend, I'll sell them. So I want to say within 24 hours, I got a guy, cool guy. He messaged me, and you know, the equips have been his one of his dream wheels as well, or favorite wheels. So you know, he hit me up and he was like, I'll be there tomorrow morning. I was like, oh, okay. You know, I wasn't even expecting it. I still had the tires mounted, so we met up at the tire shop, got the tires dismounted, and he took them with him. So they're going on a E92, which the E90 chassis allows you to run a little bit more aggressive. Also, he's not really pushing any power, so he is, you know, he doesn't mind stretching the tires and making them fit and running camera. So those wheels are more for a E90 M3, E92 M3. They probably would have been perfect on that if you want to run a media setup. But for anything else, it just wasn't gonna work out. We are back on the market. I am not rushing it, but I do have a set of wheels in mind, and it's the wheels that I should have bought from the beginning. I just didn't want to because I figured it was gonna be a little bit simple, and you know, it is what it is. I decided that I do want to get those, so we are gonna go with the silver wheel. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a simple design. Unless something else comes across while I'm in the market, I'm pretty open to a lot of other options. So we're gonna see what happens. I just figure I'll make a little video to update you guys because I've had a few people asking me when I'm gonna put the wheels on, and unfortunately that's not gonna happen. I do want to get another set of wheels, but it's not gonna be the Eclipse. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Nico wants to say to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.